Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Blueford branch of the Kansas City Public Library. April is National Poetry Month, and though the library is closed due to the COVID-19 epidemic, I've decided I will do what I do most Aprils, which is to read poetry aloud, posting some each day. Because a group that I belong to, the Great Books Kansas City, is reading Alexander Pope's essay in verse called An Essay on Man. I've decided that that's going to be the main focus, and I'll read some other works by Alexander Pope. So first, a couple things about Pope. Pope's dates are 1688 to 1744. He was a poet and satirist of the English Augustan period. So this is a period where they're consciously trying to keep to classical, especially classical Roman models. He's known for several works. He did a famous translation of the Iliad. He also did one of the Odyssey, although that he sort of co-did with a man named William Broome. But the Iliad is pretty outstanding. He did another essay called An Essay in Criticism. He did several satires. He did a work called the Dunciad, which was like an epic poem about a foolish person, as well as this essay on man. He was a very witty poet. He was known for his witty epigrams. For example, phrases like "a little learning is a dangerous thing" is one of his phrases. Also, to err is human, to forgive divine. You may have heard that. That's a quote from Pope. Also, for fools rush in where angels fear to tread is another line of Pope. So he's very good at coming up with a pithy statement, often to conclude like a section of poetry. He was Roman Catholic, which in 18th century England was not a good thing to be. This excluded him from going to university. He could not go to university because of his Catholic faith. Politically, though, he was fairly well connected. The Whigs were very anti-Catholic, so he couldn't really ally himself with the Whig party, but he did ally himself with the Tory party and had many influential friends. And because he was a satirist, he was very much in the political give and take of the day. His essay on man, which was written and published in 1733 and 1734, was written as 4 epistles, 4 letters in verse, addressed to a prominent Tory, a man named Henry St. John, 1st Viscount Bolingbroke. The theme of the poem, which is announced in the very first section, is that the proper study of mankind is man. Pope was a proponent of the optimistic philosophy. So, an essay on man in 4 epistles to Henry St. John Lord Bolingbroke, 1733 to 1734, Epistle 1. Awake, my St. John, leave all meaner things to low ambition and the pride of kings. Let us, since life can little more supply than just to look about us and to die, expatiate free o'er all this scene of man, a mighty maze, but not without a plan, a wild where weeds and flowers promiscuous shoot, or garden tempting with forbidden fruit. Together let us beat this ample field, try what the open, what the covert yield, the latent tracks, the giddy heights explore of all who blindly creep or sightless soar. Eye nature's walk, shoot folly as it flies, and catch the manners living as they rise. Laugh where we must, be candid where we can, but vindicate the ways of God to man. 1. Say first of God above or man below, what can we reason but from what we know? Of man, what see we but his station here, for which to reason or to which refer? Through worlds unnumbered, though the God be known, 'tis ours to trace him only in our own. He who through vast immensity can pierce See worlds on worlds compose one universe. Observe how system into system runs, what other planets circle other suns, what varied being peoples every star, may tell why heaven has made us as we are. But of this frame, the bearings and the ties, the strong connections, nice dependencies, gradations just has thy pervading soul looked through. Or can a part contain the whole? Is the great chain that draws all to agree and drawn supports upheld by God or thee. 2. Presumptuous man, the reason wouldst thou find why form so weak, so little, and so blind. First, if thou canst the harder reason guess, why formed no weaker, blinder, and no less. Ask of thy mother earth why oaks are made taller or stronger than the weeds they shade, or ask of yonder argent fields above why Jove's satellites are less than Jove. Of systems possible, if 'tis confessed that wisdom infinite must form the best, where all must full or not coherent be, and all that rises rise in due degree, then in the scale of reasoning life 'tis plain there must be somewhere such a rank as man. And all the question wrangle ere so long is only this: if God has placed him wrong. Respecting man, whatever wrong we call, must be right as relative to all. In human works, though labored on with pain, 1,000 movements scarce one purpose gain. In God's, one single can its end produce, yet serves to second to some other use. So man, who here seems principle alone, perhaps acts second to some sphere unknown, touches some wheel, or verges to some goal. 'Tis but a part we see, and not a whole. When the proud steed shall know why man restrains his fiery course, or drives him o'er the plains, when the dull ox, why now he breaks the clod, is now a victim, and now Egypt's god. Then shall man's pride and dullness comprehend his actions, passions, beings, use, and end. Why, doing, suffering, checked, impelled, and why this hour a slave, the next a deity. Then say not man's imperfect, heaven in fault, say rather man's is perfect as he ought, his knowledge measured to his state and place, his time a moment, and a point in his space. If to be perfect in a certain sphere, what matter soon or late, or here or there? The blessed today is as completely so as who began 1,000 years ago.